back to the applicant tracking system, which is the ATS. You may have heard people say ATS, ATS, ATS a lot. I'm just going to share a bit more information on that. The full meaning of ATS is applicant tracking system, and a significant percentage of employers use the applicant tracking system. It's a software application that helps employers manage the recruitment process. The systems help to streamline the hiring process by collecting, scanning, scoring, and ranking job applications. And as applicant tracking systems are designed to manage large volumes of applications and ensure that only the most qualified candidates are rated at the top. Usually uses keywords. It's based on keywords in the job application, which is why you may have heard people talking about you tailoring your resume and, using the keywords in the job posting. Again, clean layout, simple language, keywords, very important. Another thing I would like us to talk about is the choice of font, the font type that you choose to use. Very important that you use something that's very easy to read. It's nothing, what's the word now? Over the top in terms of the graphics design. Make it as simple as possible. If you can't find something that's simple, use Times New Roman. So other suggestions would be Calibri, Arial, all of these fonts that are clear and easy to read. Verdana could be another option that you might want to use. And the font size could be 11 or 12 points, depending on the font. I think Calibri is usually quite small, so you may want to go as high as 12 points. Arial, on the other hand, tends to be quite big, so you might get away with using an 11 font size. All in all, it's very important that your resume is easy to read. Do not use decorative fonts. They can be hard to read. And another reason that's important is because people living with someone who is reviewing your resume might be someone who is living with a disability, and you really have to be considerate and ensure that your resume is readable. That's a big deal in Canada. I think in most provinces, there's legislation that protects people living with disabilities such that they are able to request alternative formats of text documents if it's something that's going to make it easier for them to understand the content. Really, is a recruiter going to be asking you for an alternative format of your resume? So this is why you really need to be paying attention to things like that. Something else you want to pay attention to is consistency. Your fonts have to be consistent. I have seen people use a different font for the headings of their resume and a different font for the body. So the bullet points that you have on your resume, that's okay, as long as you're consistent. I would say use the same font all through. So you can just do Control-A, select everything, and change the font, and you know that you have the same font all through, rather than going through all of your headings, changing the fonts, and then going through all of the body and changing the font. I think that's a lot. As you know, searching for a job is a full-time job, and it can be tough. So why don't you take that additional burden, off your table? I would say be consistent in your font type, in your font size, in your spacing. Be consistent. Very important. Your formatting has to be consistent. Your alignments have to be consistent. Your bullet points should be consistent. Your spacing now between your words too should be consistent. One way to do that is if you're using wide spacing, for example, the space between your position and the date of your job title, use the tab function. That makes it easier for you rather than using spaces. If you use spaces, you will need to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1 to 10. So using the tab button helps you to the tab function on your keypad helps you to, just a minimal number of times, maybe 2 or 3 times, you are in a good spot and you can know, okay, I'm just going to use the tab button a couple of times, and it helps with your spacing.